ladies and gentlemen. Hey, how you doing out there tonight in the world? Man, sorry, didn't have my announcing voice on. What is up, everybody? Thank you. It is Monday, January 22nd. We are so happy that you could join us here on the Fifth Quarter Sports Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar. Treat 'em swell, and yes, I always treat 'em well. Joined with me, the Kickstep King, Coach Abe, and Mr. Diamond Dirty D. Fellas, what did I miss? What's going on? What's happening with you?
Not much, man. It's a good weekend of football. We winding down to the Final Four. Had a good, exciting weekend of some good football, and excited to see what is going to happen this coming weekend.
We've got some madness, D.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It's winding down. Our football season will be over with. We'll start transitioning to some other sports that we like. But man, listen, we have some wild stuff going on on the football field this weekend. Some scares and some pretenders and some bright futures of some of the franchises that we seen.
The people want to see Taylor. Yeah, don't nobody want to see her.
Please, no.
Oh, man. Well, that's what's up, man. Hell yeah. Y'all, you hit that right on the head. We had some contenders. We had some pretenders. We had it all this weekend. Man, first up, let's just go ahead and run it with that Baltimore and Texans game. I personally saw it going a little bit differently. I figured the Ravens would squeak it out.
I believe you picked Houston, right?
I picked Houston, yeah. I was the only one that picked Houston. Just because I've said it time and time again, I am a Lamar Jackson hater. He is a quarterback, he is a running back that can throw the ball 20 yards. Other than that, anything over 20 yards, he is inaccurate. But I figured that because of the way the Ravens have been playing defense this season, they would be able to squeak it out. And they took the hell off on them after half. I mean, it was 10-10 at halftime, and they came out in that second half and said, you know what, I'm tired of playing with y'all. And they got the job done. And beat them convincingly. D, what'd you see in that game, man, that really stood out to you?
First of all, I would like to say kudos to the Texans for where they came in and having the number one pick. Picking C.J. Stroud. It looked like they got the right coach for the job in DeMeco Ryans. They got Will Anderson, and we'll see a bright future. And to be honest with you, it looks like the same way they invested in Deshaun Watson back in the day. Whoever has that quarterback in position and their defensive position and a stable coach, they win division their rookie season. Now, the ceiling will be very high for them coming next year. They get some more pieces. But kudos to them. But I knew Baltimore's defense is on a mission. And I'm not even talking about Lamar yet. We can get into him. But they on a mission. They kept them in that game because the Baltimore's offense was sputtering a little bit. They were trying to find a footing, as we thought they would because they're coming off a back. So I seen it. But I like the passion that Baltimore and really Lamar Jackson played with on the field as we see him become a leader. We see him get into the offensive line's ass for not blocking. And when the guy made a good play, he went over and commended and congratulated the guy for doing what he's blocking for him. So I like it as a leader. It showed why he's the MVP. So, that defense is hellacious. I'm not saying it's one of the best Baltimore defense, but one thing I do know, they will hit you in the mouth. I don't care who you is, they will hit you, and they tackle very well in this NFL that we see now.
Absolutely. Hey, man, what are some pieces that you think that Texans team is missing? D just said, they got a few more pieces they need to put together. before we see. I mean, hell, they made it to the divisional round after being either the worst or the second worst team last year.
True that. And I think a key piece for them just gonna be experience. You know, they got a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, and shame on Jacksonville for just letting them just pass them by like that, man. And you know, Jacksonville having Sunshine down there, that defense, some receivers. You know, they had a better team set up to win that division over Houston and the rest of the teams in Indy and Tennessee. But the main thing for them, man, is just to get experience. I love what D'Amico Ryans is doing with Christian Harris, another Alabama linebacker. It just seems like he knows how to get the best out of his guys. He knows how to get them to run through a brick wall for him, and which is a big thing to be a young head coach in the league, you know, and him have played, you know, he's very relatable to the younger guys in the locker room. So the big thing for them is just experience, man. But as far as Baltimore, uh, you know, that first half was a little shaky. He had to shake the rust off. But you know, that second half, Lamar started Lamaring, and they took off. But one thing I want to point out about last week's game going into this week, they kind of slid Dalvin Cook in there in the fourth for a few carries.
I saw that.
That right there is a game changer. I love Gus and what he been doing for them and the other running back, and of course Lamar. But Dalvin Cook, man, that's gonna be a big game changer for them in the backfield. And I could tell when he got that first carry how hungry he was, you know, the get yards, just to get back out there on the field. You know, basically a wasted year with the Jets. You know, but I look for him to get a lot of carries and a lot of touches, even in the passing game this week coming up.
And I won't even, you know what, I wouldn't even say it was a wasted year with the Jets, only because we know had the man been there, had the quarterback been there, it could have been. I'm not saying they'd be in this conversation, but it could have been a different year. 100% for the Jets. They came in with a whole head of steam. I think I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again. C.J. Stroud, Rookie of the Year. D'Amico Ryan, Coach of the Year.
For sure.
Absolutely. I just don't. I mean, maybe even the only other coach that I could see up there at this point be Dan Campbell.
That's true. I would probably like Campbell over him, maybe. But just coming from worst to first, like Houston did, you know, that's a big stepping stone for them, and a good reason to award, like you said, Ryans and Stroud with those awards. So
I mean,
they could go a long way.
And you really got, you know, three coaches to go up there in Cleveland also. You know what I'm saying? The job that he did with the quarterback carousel that he had to deal with. So it's a lot. I would get a nod to my guy in Detroit, but Miko Ryans, I don't know if they can do coaches or whatever they need to do.
No, they don't do.
But you just in Detroit, well, we get to Detroit, but in the Texans case, we didn't think they would be in this position. I felt like C.J. Stroud was NFL quarterback ready to play more than the other guy, Bryce Young, at the time they got drafted, and it's shown in his play. It's shown. They will get better. They were in this game until certain things went off, and also reported Lamar Jackson went in the locker room and went throw it on a tirade to get them to play better. And that's what you have to do. And I was glad to hear that.
And another thing too with Houston, man, you have to, and I know it's hard with today's league and people have all eyes on you. You have to try to keep your coordinators in place. Slowick is a great OC, good Shanahan from that Shanahan tree that's coaching Stroud. Now, if he gets hired somewhere else, Ryan's, who do you go get? Do you promote from within? So I think that the coordinators are just important as D'Amico Ryan, especially Slowick with the development of Stroud and that offense all together. So um, I don't want to say they'll take a step back if he leaves, but you know how it is with these coordinators when they leave and how the teams change, i.e. Philly, i.e. Um, another team, and we're gonna get to them, is Detroit. Their coordinators are, hot commodities right now. So
Mm-hmm.
keeping that coaching continuity in place is big. But like I say, it's hard because the NFL is a business, and that teams are looking for good young coaches. So we'll see what happens with it.
Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and get to this one. Well, we'll keep it in order. Keep it in order. Man, go pack, go ahead and pack up and go home. They went into San Fran, damn near got the job done. They led for a good part of that second half. But Brock Purdy and the 49ers pulled it out at the end of the game. DF, I was not able to get the header in for this one, so we just going to use that one right there. But number one seed in the NFC got the job done. San Fran moves on to the Final Four. What'd you see in this game, D?
Same thing. Green Bay, in my opinion, across the board, and I'm finna put a number on this. I turned 46 a week ago.
Damn.
35 years, just say 35 years age of football. The Green Bay Packers organization has gotten the quarterback position right in their franchise. You got to think about it. You had Brett Favre for 20 years. You turn around and get a Aaron Rodgers for damn near 20 years. You put it, and I'm talking about they just put them in the chamber and let them sit. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Green Bay had this game. San Francisco did enough to escape, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Purdy did not look good at all, and this is the difference in a game changer and a game manager that everybody was going all crazy when Cam made the statement. These is what we have. We have systematic quarterbacks, game changing quarterbacks. We got game manager quarterbacks. That's just what it is and what we have. Purdy did everything in that game to lose that game. And as you see again when we discuss certain things, football only related. When you don't have all your bullets in the gun, being defense or offense, how your team struggle. Deebo Samuels went down. He nicked his shoulder. Their offense was not working at all for the first couple of quarters. They were getting little chunk plays in and there. Being weathered, Green Bay defense dropped a surefire interception. It could have turned into a touchdown. Maybe two, because he was throwing in traffic. But kudos to San Francisco. They did what they needed to do. Again, we seen two coaches that were coordinators in another organization that has been split and went on and he put his head down because this is history. This is the part that you got to get it right. LaFleur, the quarterback coach for the Atlanta Falcons, when they went to the Super Bowl, Matt Ryan MVP year. Shanahan, offensive coordinator on that same Falcon team. And that's how it's supposed to go, Kev. You got somebody in place. Basically, really what the Falcons should have did. Shanahan went, you supposed to promote LaFleur. That's how it goes. This is some of the bonehead stuff that you got to get it right. What Abe said about coordinators. You have to. Kudos to San Francisco again. D'Amico Ryans was on Shanahan's staff last year. The guy up there with the Jets was on Shanahan's staff. defensive coordinator. So Shanahan, that is all a tree growing here and there. Here and there. And I, like I said, when I found out when they showed it, LaFleur and Shanahan had been together for a while. But go ahead, Ed.
Antorius, I think it is Sam Darnold is the backup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, man, just piggybacking on what D said, Purdy did not look great, but Purdy didn't turn the ball over. You know, he didn't have eye-popping stats for that game, you know, and to Green Bay's credit, they came out and played some pretty good defense. Now, I do question, and like I know that Debo going out, you got to adjust on the fly, but I do question the play calling. Well, not the play calling, but it seems like when Debo went out, their offense went kind of, you know, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Debo may be the second option after McCaffrey. He may be the 2A after Kittle or however it goes. But you still have guys who can make plays, i.e. Ayuk. Kittle almost had 100 yards if he didn't have 100 yards. And McCaffrey, of course, rushed for almost 100 with 2 touchdowns. So I do think that we're not giving Green Bay enough credit for the game that they came out there and played. San Fran, they definitely had to shake the rust off too. But I do feel like Green Bay is, you know, they trendy. That next year they're gonna be a force to reckon with as long as they keep they running backs in place with Aaron Jones. Probably can go get a big name number 1 receiver, whether it be in the draft or free agency. But I like where Green Bay is headed. Purdy and Trent Dilfer can't. They might be equal. So yeah, he is a Trent Dilfer. I will say that. I had an argument in our group chat with where it wasn't an argument. We were just discussing the whole Purdy and Super Bowls and stuff
He was
like that.
discussing it with a 49er fan, so you can see
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
why
yes,
you
I
can
was.
say it was an argument.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
And I'm coming to the conclusion with all 49er fans, you can't tell them shit. Every player that they have is the best thing since sliced bread until they leave their team. Then they trash. Remember now, some of them thought Trey Young, not Trey Young, but Trey Lance was the next best thing. He was going to do X, Y, Z. Garoppolo came in. Oh, we got Garoppolo. He the next Tom Brady, blah, 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 blah. Remember, that man took him to the Super Bowl. Did he not? That's the argument. That's the argument, Kim. Is it a game changer? Or a systematic quarterback? Is it the system that they run? Because Garoppolo went somewhere else and can't do nothing.
But the thing is, and what I don't know how the hell John Lynch keep doing this, but they're not having to pay no quarterback, so they can build all this other stuff up around them and put mediocre Joe back there, i.e. Purdy. Sorry, Skip, but you put mediocre Joe back there, and you can make some shape because you got the best left tackle in football, best or second best tight end in football, one of the best receiving corps in football, best running back in football. If you want to argue Derrick Henry, however you want to do it, but they got a lot of stuff around their court. They built their team up the right way, and I don't know how the hell John Lynch keeps doing this, and they ain't got to pay no quarterback. They haven't had to pay for it since who? Who's the last quarterback? Well, they paid Garoppolo, but it wasn't.
Nobody.
Yeah. So
Lamar
Jackson is going to make over $79 million more this year than Brock Purdy.
But just like you said, Abe, if you think about it, the same they have some teams have a model. Remember when Kaepernick was there, he wasn't getting paid either. When they paid him, the team started trickling down. They didn't have no playmakers. They was losing players and folks were retiring and all that. How do you do that? Are they gonna have money to sign a Chase Young next year? You see what I'm saying? The linebackers are staying healthy. You know what I'm saying? The only weak part on me on that defense is the secondary, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
And
they
like
get a little handsy back there with holding
Mm-hmm.
so
pass interferences. Yeah.
I feel like Green Bay was in control of this game for 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
For 3 quarters.
I'd say 3.5.
Yes, sir.
3 quarters. And they had a chance. They couldn't come up with the big play, like you said. But you are totally right. You got to give out again. When John Lynch took over as the GM, I was like, this guy has no experience whatsoever. Came in and they have been in three of the last 5 NFC championships. You know what I'm saying? They got to one Super Bowl 4 now. They got to one Super Bowl. They haven't won it. But we're getting in that if they move forward, they don't, because I have something that's gonna stir the pot with that, because I have a question about Shanahan and this.
And that's the thing. He can they say he can never actually win a big game. He did get to the Super Bowl the other year, but ran into my homie. He did take Matt Ryan to the Super Bowl 28-3. You know what happened with that. But last year he lost to Philly NFC Championship. A couple of years before that, he lost to the Rams in the NFC Championship. So I think that they're waiting. All San Fran fans are waiting for them to finally get over the hump. They right there, but can they do it? And I feel like if it weren't for number 15 for AC, they would have got that ring that year. But I mean, hey man, as a matter of fact, I believe Brady might have beat him in the NFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl with Tampa. It may be in the divisional round, but I think he did beat him in the NFC Championship as well with Tampa. And Torius, no 28-3 slander shall be welcome on this podcast.
Hey, real quick, I had a video on my memories pop up the other day. I was at a watch party for that Super Bowl, and boy, if it wasn't 15 Falcons fans surrounding my homeboy who was a Pats fan, and he's sitting in the chair just watching the game, He said, all right, I'm going to run to the store. I'll be right back. Let me tell you, he was gone for an hour and a half. As soon as the Patriots took the lead, this was at Mister's house. As soon as the Patriots took the lead, he busted back through that door. The whole house was silent.
But if you
he was waiting in the car. He was waiting in the car.
It was another situation that he got himself into. I lost my train of thought when he was talking about that Falcon situation, but he tends to over coach or lose sight in what he's doing. Oh, matter of fact, again, if everybody go back, they were beating Kansas City in that Super Bowl. They were running the ball on Kansas City and got away from running the ball and started throwing the ball around, which got Kansas City to win their first Super Bowl. So he tends to, I think himself, I want to say, well, like I said, one of his bullets was going out the gun at Debo, and their whole game plan went crazy, as I alluded to you, Kev, when I said turnovers play a big part in some of these games. Think about when you take some of your weaponry away, be on defense or offense.
But like I said, man, it's like San Fran has enough playmakers to. Okay, Debo out. We still good, But now I do understand that you game plan all week for this. You script these plays up. For Debo, he probably had 15 plays in the script, something like that, where it's pass or run. So I did not like that he didn't adjust on the fly with Debo being out. Because like I said, who knows if he's gonna play this week. Now, this week you will have all week to plan for him not being there because he probably not practicing with the shoulder and stuff like that. But I do want to see them still be the same 49ers, regardless of if one of their offensive playmakers is out. Because as I said, they got so many. So
Well, before we move on, I'm gonna end this on this right here. The Cowboys have won a more recent Super Bowl than the 49ers.
And and for everybody, Kev, because Kev, and you know who was the common denominator in those two Super Bowls? There's one player. Kev, I'm testing your history.
Let me know, Doug.
Deion Sanders is the reason why those two franchises have their last Super Bowl. They don't want to admit to it, but it was a proven fact. He went to San Francisco. At that time, Dallas was whooping San Francisco's ass. He went to San Francisco. San Francisco won that Super Bowl in '94. The following year, Jerry Jones, being who Jerry Jones is, said, I'm going to get Deion. What it got Deion, and that's the last Super Bowl that the Cowboys won.
And that was when he still had all his toes.
And to be honest, with you, to tell you the truth, the Cowboys would have had more if he would have left Jimmy Johnson alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the curse that your Cowboys have.
Look, I've said it, and I'll continue to say it. We won't win another Super Bowl till Jerry croaks.
Go on.
Hey.
Proven fact.
Don't croak,
We had some other games this weekend. What up, though? I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the Lions to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I am on the Campbell train. Can't really say I'm too much on the Goff train, but I like Laporta. I like St. Brown. Man, they went out there and got the job done. And, hey, real quick, I think Baker Mayfield just proved that he could play in the NFL. I do. I think Baker, and I saw this on Facebook, and it was a true fact. Baker Mayfield is everything we thought Johnny Manziel was supposed to be. Think about it. But I think Baker will stay in Tampa another year. They was playing again, like I said, with the Packers. They were playing with house money. They were there by default, and they had a pretty good showing. And with 2 minutes left in the game, had a chance to take it to overtime. So I don't know. I give credit to Baker, but at the end of the day, the Lions got the job done, 31-23, and they move on to the NFC Championship. What we got?
I want to comment on what you just said right there. Stat wise, this is the best year Baker Mayfield had. And I will say this: I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This is again showing you when you put a player in position around other great players, receivers, and a defense, you can win games. I'm being honest. The man throw for over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns this year. Really didn't turn the ball over. They sweep by in a weak division to get in a 9-8 season. They did knock off the NFC champion Eagles convincingly. It wasn't no fluke. And they went up there and played a good game. And again, Baker with those 2 interceptions was turning the ball over. The big difference in that. Now we jump over to the Lions. The Lions are hungry. Dan Campbell got them guys believing. And I'm going to say this to you, Abe and Kev, Chauncey Gardner. That young man right there. I was so upset the Eagles didn't want to pay him. You see the difference? Did you see the difference that he makes on the defensive side of the ball? They've been talking about their secondary all year being a weak point. That guy came in, and the identity of Detroit defense is back again. Being I'm an Eagles fan. Tell her I'm an Eagles fan. What do you?
Yeah,
You
Eagle
know,
fans.
I'm an Eagles fan. I love the Eagles, but I gotta tell the truth. So, but at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions have an identity. That team is taken on Dan Campbell's identity as a head coach, and it is not being said enough. The GM for the Detroit Lions have done a marvelous job. Outside of Dan Campbell, no disrespect here, their whole staff is black coaches on their staff. I went and seen them play last year, and the whole staff. Aaron Glenn is going to get some opportunities. Their offensive coordinator going to get some opportunities and everything. So be prepared. They will be it's going to be a very physical game. And barring if Goff don't turn the ball over, because he didn't see this San Francisco style defense being when he was with the Rams. He didn't beat them to go to the Super Bowl. If he goes as Detroit goes as what Goff does, as far as not turning the ball over. Go ahead,
Yeah, man. This just I'm kind of just reminiscing on this past season with the regular season, how my damn Falcons, if you win one or two more games, if you beat Tampa that game, you win. So but shouts out to Tampa, man, for stepping up, like D said, man. They in a weak ass division, but nobody expected them to win that game against Philly. Now, granted, nobody didn't think. I'm sorry, D. Philly was gonna play like that, and Baker definitely showed that, he's still a force to be working with. Now, if they're gonna pay him, I don't know. And if they do pay him, how much do they pay him? He's not gonna get top tier money, but
What?
if he took them to the playoffs, won a division, I think he's worth a shot. I do think that they may need to get a tight end to help with the middle of the field. And they also have to re-sign Mike Evans at the end of this season. So Tampa got some willing and dealing to do, but shouts out to them for fighting hard, winning that Philly game, and going up to Detroit, and giving a decent showing. Mike Evans was Mike Evansing with dropping passes. So a play here or there the game could have went differently. But going back to what you said, Gardner Johnson, he does bring an attitude to that defense, and they get to where they play like three safeties with the Alabama kid, number 6, and Gardner Johnson all in the game at the same time. I guess when they go nickel and stuff like that. But shouts out to Hutchinson, man, a Detroit kid, went to high school in Detroit, went to, of course, Michigan, and now he's playing for the Lions. So he was
holding back tears. I don't know if y'all saw that. They had the camera on him. He was just standing there trying not to bust out.
And I think he got a sack or two. I'm not really sure. But I love what Jahmyr Gibbs is doing. I love what Laporta is doing. He played injured, by the way. St. Brown is one of the most underrated receivers in the league. He got snubbed from the Pro Bowl or All Pro. I don't know how.
He made it All Pro. He made All Pro. He didn't get the All.
And Jameson Williams, he got suspended was part of last year, so he just starting to scratch the surface. And they got a formidable, complete team with a quarterback, 2 running backs, some receivers, a tight end, and a decent defense. You feel what I'm saying? And
they just signed Zach Ertz to the practice squad.
He playing. He playing this week. He playing.
And to piggyback on something you said back to Baker. This is what's been happening. Baker has garnered almost $40 million to get signed as a quarterback. And the reason yes, $40 million when you say it, you know why? Daniel Jones got 40 was the ceiling.
Oh
Daniel
yeah, he's better than
Jones.
James Jones.
If Daniel Jones got that, what you think they're gonna pay Baker? Has he worked? He's earned that type of money at the low. If that's low to some people, that's low ball, and y'all don't even know it. He's gonna get
Yeah.
$40 million.
Well, and what do y'all remember? A couple of shit. I guess it's been a couple of months now. I gave out that stat of Cleveland in the last like 9 years has started over 30 different quarterbacks. The
Damn.
only one who didn't miss a game in his tenure was Baker Mayfield. So, I mean, I remember looking back at the beginning of the season, all of us are sitting there going, how the hell does Baker Mayfield keep getting a job? Well, I guess we see why. What you said, D, you put him in a position with some folks who can make plays, and he feeds off of that.
You gotta think that go for any player anywhere. And even in Cleveland, they try to make OBJ the scapegoat there. Cleveland was a dumpster fire. We know they have been a trash organization for years. They used to be opponent in the late 80s when they was going to AFC championships and couldn't get over the hump. I think Baker has gotten in the league for being the #1 pick, Heisman Trophy, all this stuff, and he finds himself getting humbled every time. I think he's found a team that matches his energy, and that's what it is. You got Mike Evans on the offensive side of the ball that will be the superstar, you would say, and Baker is not get granted all that or trying to be the savior of a franchise. Those guys on that team, quote unquote, have Super Bowl rings. They are already made men in the NFL. They just need the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Here we go again. James Winston was on the same team. Couldn't do nothing with him. Tom Brady goes down, they go to the damn Super Bowl. Tom Brady retires, they still win the division or are back in the playoffs, being the NFC champions at that moment, the NFC champions, going and playing against another team, and it was a pretty good game. So I can't complain. But hey, what up, though?
And I think too with Baker, man, they're gonna have to decide because Mike Evans and him both are unrestricted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
So how and are you gonna sign your probably 2 offensive best players other than White and what's the other receiver name?
Number 14.
Yes,
Boy,
yes. Yes. So does Baker take a discount so they can keep Mike Evans? Is Mike Evans a lifer in Tampa? That's some big decisions you have to make because regardless of how long Mike Evans been playing, regardless of his drops, if he hit that free agent market, he's gonna be a hot commodity. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Both linebackers are on the free agents also. Levante David and the other guy next to him, both White. Yeah, White. Both. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. Yeah, you got to figure out who you gonna sign and what you gonna do. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, fellas, we got one more divisional round game to talk about before we get into the championship rounds. Oh my God, another epic matchup between these two teams. I thought Buffalo was going to pull it out. And I got to say this. Announcers, shut up. Be quiet. Y'all do this shit every time. I swear. You know what? All the people who think the NFL is scripted, this is one of the biggest reasons why. Because them goddamn announcers get on there. Oh, well, he knows. He said he was ready. He won't miss a kick when it comes to the big moment. Wide right. Oh, this guy hasn't thrown an interception in 4 million pass attempts. Intercepted. Why? Every time, I swear, these announcers jinx it every time. They just need to stop saying shit like that. But nonetheless, a great game. The Bills gave it everything they had. What do you mean? What do you mean, D?
He said, "Why you feel bad for Josh Allen?" I'm like, "Why?" Listen,
God, don't feel bad for Josh Allen.
I'm, I'm,
But Kansas City got the win 27-24, and they move on.
I'm agree. I'm agree with you, KF, because before the game, the NFL is about making money. That's just what it is. They're trying to get their next Brady and Peyton Manning type situation. Because as we see, KC Buffalo has come down to play. They have played since these two guys have been in the league. They've been on the schedule. I don't give a damn if they play a different division. One of them games, KC going over there, Buffalo going over there, whatever the case. And I want to say this is the first time we seen Kansas City in the playoffs on the road, and then to go play in Buffalo.
Yep.
To go
First
play in
time
Buffalo.
Mahomes has had to play a playoff game on the road.
And to be honest with you, what I do not like is the fact that they don't talk about this man being a turnover machine. And they don't talk about that. But he what he does for that team, I don't think nobody else can do what Josh Allen does for that Buffalo team and what they need him to do. I don't nobody else can do that. They're just being honest. You take him off, Buffalo is nowhere, as we've seen from back in the day. Jim Kelly was their quarterback. When Jim Kelly retired, they have went years, decades without having nothing. They get Josh Allen fall in their lap. Then he's putting a receiver around him, being Diggs and other players. And kudos to our Georgia running back. He been playing out his damn mind. Dalvin Cook with the brother. He been playing out his mind and opening up that offense where they can run the ball. I seen this coming down to a last position type game. And to be honest with you, Kansas City tried to give it to him too, Mr. Mecole Hardman. They tried to give it to him too. I still don't understand why we want to run trick plays in the red zone. I don't understand. I really don't. But in years, and I'm turning over to Abe, Kansas City defense was a little bit better than Buffalo. That's where it came down. It wasn't my homie doing what my homie did. It was their defense. Go ahead, Abe.
I agree. KC's defense is definitely much improved. Where they lost Tyreek or whoever on offense, they've picked it up on D, man, and them boys playing together. They playing hard nosed, tough. Man, Josh Allen though, man, listen. All right, turnover machine.
18
whatever.
Interceptions this year.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Hurts was second with 15. Yeah, you're right. But Pat Mahomes was third with 14. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, but just going back to Josh Allen, man. We had a discussion on the group today. I'm thinking it was maybe last night or whenever it was about Josh Allen being great. And one of my counterparts, he discussed about he ain't winning no rings. What has he done? He hasn't played in the Super Bowl. That's true. But how Burrow has, and how far do you put Burrow over Josh Allen? Do you put Burrow over Josh Allen? So it's and just one thing, man. I was watching clips of ESPN, and I saw how Ryan Clark went in on the man. Yes, Pacheco is a dog, man. And I see that, and Torres, I'm gonna get back to my point. I see that them carries Pacheco had Edwards Hilaire running the ball too when he got the opportunity. So yeah, Pacheco is definitely a game changer. But I just feel like, man, Ryan Clark, you gotta let up, brother. You just let these guys play the game, regardless on if he wins a Super Bowl or not in his career. Right now, he is still one of the best quarterbacks in this league. And that might be right. And towards
that's
we
might be going.
I agree. However, Phillip Rivers wasn't toting that rock like that.
No, he wasn't.
what I'm saying? Phillip
Both,
Rivers went against 70 rushing yards a game and throw for 350. You feel what I'm saying? So I just feel like just let up a little bit on Josh Allen, man, because he is a player, and 97% of these teams out here, with the exception of KC, Baltimore, and Cincinnati, will dump their quarterback to get Josh Allen. You know, I just feel like the Josh Allen slander is a bit much. Now, he do turn the ball over, but like I said, he is one of the top 3 or 4 best quarterbacks in this league right now. Still, turnovers, whatever you want to call it. But just going back to this game, man, KC defense is what definitely stepped up and won this game for him. Chris Jones was pushing that damn guard back into Josh Allen. They don't have a big name linebacker, but they all play together. You see what I'm saying? McDuffie is a great DB. So you know, just shouts out to KC, man, for a great hard fought game, going on the road, beating them, because you don't have too many teams that would go up there and do that. Go up there and beat them at their house like that. You know, a couple of the throws, one of the Diggs was a little off. I think Diggs might have dropped one, whatever, however it may be. But let's keep in mind, Buffalo didn't have their full clip of weapons either, because Gabe Davis is a big part of what they do on offense. You know, he takes it heat from Diggs, and not having him was definitely detrimental. But Josh Allen still was able to get his tight ends involved, his running back involved, and they were pound cake smashing them. You know, the first couple of drives in the first half, but you know they kind of went away from it. They start, you know, leaning on Josh Allen, and who's not gonna lean on him? Like I said, he one of the best QBs out there. So you know, it was definitely a hard fought game, great game as expected. You know, and you know, I'm looking forward to see what happens this coming weekend.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Another caveat in this game of coaching trees. Andy Reid, the guy that coaches Buffalo, was the Philadelphia defensive coordinator at one point in time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He left. That's when the Eagles supposedly had the dream team at one point. And he went on to Carolina, became their defensive coordinator the year that Cam then went to the Super Bowl. Leaves there, he gets the job in Buffalo. The same guy that's also coaching Kansas City's defense. All these guys are on the same staff. If you look across the league, some of these teams that are in the playoffs, some of their coaches coach against the team they're playing against or was on their staff. Go ahead, Abe. I see
Vincent. Josh Allen got more playoff wins than Dak and Purdy put together. But you're right, he's not getting the job done as far as getting over the hump. But I don't want to compare Dak to bro. He better than Dak. He better than Purdy.
Now I'm gonna say this to where Abe said we were having a conversation last night. I told him, I said Josh Allen is Dak Prescott of the AFC. You can go out and have a great season. You can go out and Abe said, yeah, but he's won more playoff games. Yeah, but he loses to Kansas City every year. Just the third year in a row. They had a picture of Diggs sitting there staring at the score.
Watch this though.
All three.
But watch this though. How many years did Peyton Manning lose to Brady?
Come on, bro. And what was Brady and Manning then? 1 and 2.
And at one point, Kev, Peyton Manning almost was going to be Stat Boy 2.0, Dan Marino.
Vincent,
a lot of he ain't got, but Peyton Manning is greatest Peyton Manning is. Arguably one of the best quarterbacks to play the game. Whatever. He only got 2 Super Bowl rings. It's a reason because of that. The same way, Josh might get over the hump. He might not. He not to me. He ain't gonna have no Super Bowl rings. He ain't gonna have more Super Bowl rings or MVPs than Mahomes. He's just not. He's just not. I don't hear a lot of players saying, I want to go to Buffalo and play. That's what I heard that. Bo told me this earlier today. I thought about it, Vincent Parker, and I will agree with that right now because some players, some quarterbacks in this league mirror each other. I kind of see that a little bit, Abe. I kind of see it.
Vincent Roethlisberger was a game manager. You cannot. Roethlisberger had Jerome Bettis, Troy Polamalu, one of the best defenses ever, one of the best run games ever. So for me, just Ben wasn't asked to do what Josh is doing. You feel what I'm saying? So
was that not the argument right there? Being good versus being great. That's the argument.
You can be
right
good,
there.
but until you prove that you're great.
So Burrow is just good. I'm just asking.
No. You already know how.
I'm talking to Kel.
Oh, you already know how I feel about
So Burrow is just good, right, Kel? He ain't won no bowl.
I don't have it under the assumption that you have to win Super Bowl rings to be good.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I'm getting at here. But let me ask you this, Ant. You telling me you wouldn't take Dak over what were the 3 quarterbacks y'all had this season? Mason, he's a Steelers fan. Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and who was their third?
Mason
Irrelevant.
And the other guy,
Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and
what the other name was? Trubisky.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. Come on, get out of here with that shit. Well, look, man.
That proves the point what we was talking about. You take Josh Allen and put him over there. See, that's the point that I was trying to make. That's the point I was trying to make right there. You got to have a great quarterback. I'm not going to say elite. You have had to have a great quarterback to play on these teams. Everybody knows it starts with the quarterback. That was my point. If you move these pieces around on the chessboard, what do you get? Do you get the same production or do it drop off?
And say he would.
See?
They go 9-8.
No, hell, they won. You got.
He said he would take his 3 quarterbacks over Dak.
No, he would.
That's why they 9-8.
Okay.
That's good.
That with Pittsburgh,
He don't fit there. That don't fit.
You know what? Because I could honestly, what I see happening in the future.
Say
what Cam said about that.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Does it not? It makes sense. That's what I was trying to get at. Kev, more Cowboy fans hate Dak Prescott than regular other fans. It's always been like that. Y'all, to be honest with you, y'all ain't never had an elite quarterback. Troy Aikman.
He said he'll take that.
Okay.
Right. What I'm saying, even with y'all, Kev, y'all had Troy. Does Troyman go to another squad and he's the same player? No, he's not. Unless these weapons are around him.
Yeah, you got Jalen Harper, Michael Irvin, and Emmett.
And you had the biggest offensive line in the damn world.
In the world.
All those pieces went away. Troy and them didn't win anything. Michael Irvin got hurt. Emmett wasn't in it. Jay Novacek retired. They were not the same.
But Ant, that's what I'm saying about Josh Allen. He just those clutch situations, he doesn't do it.
So if it's
you got the money, it's just like Dallas with these damn 49ers. It's the monkey on the back. Can't get it done against Josh Allen against the Kansas City Chiefs.
When they get to the
Josh
playoffs,
Allen against the Kansas City Chiefs, he can't get past them.
No. That's the difference. He's won playoff. He's won playoff games. Don't bring up the 49ers because you didn't play against the 49ers in the playoffs, sir. So don't do that. You're not going to try to swing it right there. You lost to the 49ers in a regular season. Now you have lost the playoff game to the 49ers, but he's lost multiple playoff games to different teams. Josh Allen's problem, just like Peyton Manning back in the day, was the New England Patriots. He is at the Kansas City Chiefs. This how it goes.
He is 5-4. Josh Allen is in the playoffs, and them 4 losses
to the Kansas City Chiefs. He beat everybody else in Kansas City. And that's the difference in having that elite quarterback over there. There you go.
All right. Well, fellas, we got 2 games this weekend. The championships are coming up. Let me get my sound effect. Oh, wait, wrong one. Oh, it is what we have been waiting for. You know what? I think I've said it every week. I hate this time of year because what the hell am I going to do with my weekends now that we only have 3 football games left? 3, just 3. And then we down to nothing. But before we get to that sad, sad day, which is the day after the Super Bowl, we got to see who is going to be in the Super Bowl. NFC, it will be the Detroit Lions. What up, Doe? Against the San Francisco 49ers. UFL coming. I'll probably watch a couple of games here and there, but it ain't going to be, though.
I'm an NBA
unless they like drop, since The Rock is in there, unless they like pile driving folks or doing some tombstones, you know what I mean? I want to see somebody get run bottom.
Is that scripted?
Oh, that's gonna be scripted.
Yeah. But man, the Detroit Lions, they will be going to San Francisco. What do we have? Me personally, I told you I'm on the Lions train.
What up, though?
I'm taking the Lions to go represent in the Super Bowl.
It'll be one of the biggest turnarounds in the history of the franchise. To be honest with you, they are capable of going out there and seeing what we've seen. Depending on how Debo's shoulder is, oh Lord. No, wait a minute, Kim. I'll let you have it. It's gonna be a close game. I think it'll be a blowout, barring what how Purdy plays. Just to get back on that, barring how Purdy plays.
You're wrong, man.
Whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game. Be on the lookout for Gibbs having a big game. If they establish the run, Detroit will win. 21-17.
Go ahead, Abe.
Now, I did surprisingly see Green Bay was able to run that peel, Aaron Jones especially. Inside, outside, they ran some tosses, they ran some off tackles, some inside tackle. So they was able to run the ball. Now, I do not know if Detroit will still make that conscious effort to run it as much, seeing as that they probably trust their quarterback a little more than Green Bay did. So I look for them to be a little more balanced. Man,
Mr. Williams.
I feel like San Fran will probably make enough plays to win this game, being at the house. And I do feel like Detroit may get a little pass happy, which will play into the hands of the 49ers defense and their D-line. So as much as I hate to say this, give me San Fran 21-17.
Now the key to this game, and my boy Detroiter, I don't know if he's watching tonight. He ain't said nothing about his Lions yet. Jared Goff has a tendency to turn it over in the worst possible times. That will be the key to winning this game. He didn't turn it over this past week, but I will say to the Bucs defense is not on the same caliber as the 49ers defense, in my opinion. They got some good players on there, but I don't think they're the same caliber.
Okay.
Listen, I meant to say this too. It could be I know they playing in San Francisco. You got to watch the weather out there too. But turnovers will be key on both sides of the ball in this game. That's in this type of thing right here. Both will be key.
Now I do like Gibbs. I'll let you continue, Kev. I do like Gibbs in the passing game though against Warner and Greenlaw. I do feel like he can get loose a little bit. But I just feel like Detroit, what they're gonna do is they're gonna definitely run the ball to set up the pass. You know, they're gonna try to get Montgomery and Gibbs going. But I want to see Gibbs get out there in the passing game, some screens, some little flat routes, stuff like that. That'll take their linebackers and stuff out the box. If Detroit is able to have a balanced attack with run and pass, it'll be interesting at the end. But I just feel like they may get behind, or even if they don't, they just gonna get a little pass happy. Sorry, Kev, go ahead.
Now, real quick, because it took me a second to realize what Skip was saying. Oh shit! Excuse me. For those who watched the early days, when we first came out, we were last take. We had a guy, Henry Hendog Hennington, one of the biggest Detroit fans, and he is a grown man Skip made cry, talking shit about the Lions. I don't want to do this no more. We ain't talked to him since that day, I don't think.
Man, bring him back on, man. He deserves it.
I would look. That was Mister's boy. If we can get in contact with him, I would love to bring him on.
Hey, the state of Michigan is up right now, boy. They about to lose their mind. Hey, listen, it's real interesting what's going on right now. We'll talk about all that off air, how Michigan, the car market was on strike. They water nasty and all this different stuff going on. The damn near they got a national champion, a team almost on the cusp of the Super Bowl. Ain't that something?
However, the Pistons are still ass. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, and the Detroit Tigers ain't doing shit.
Well, they got like 3 wins this year.
Let's not forget that. But what up though?
What up though? Hey, I'm taking Detroit 21-24.
Solid.
I'm gonna throw one more score in there. 21-24. All right. On to the next.
These scores, ladies and gentlemen, that we picked in this game is very close. It could be Barnes, San Francisco is what they are. A real close game.
Absolutely. I think it will. It'll have to be. Just so we know the one in that one. They ain't showing it yet. No, San Fran by 7.
San Fran by 7.
San Fran -7. And the team playing.
That's to be honest with you.
Green Bay just was on their ass, and they gave them 7.
They gave them 7 as the beginning of the week. We'll see as it get close. Bar Debo's availability. How about that?
That's what's going to determine it, I think.
But like I said, man, you know if he gonna be out, you like this week you can plan for. Like last week, they didn't plan for that. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This week, there's a possibility he's gonna be out. So get it to IU, get it to Kittle, get it to McCaffrey, even in the passing game, and you should be good.
AFC Championship, man. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Baltimore. Right now, 3.5 to Baltimore.
I can go with that, and I'm gonna say this right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kev. Excuse me.
Now, all I wanted to say, this entire game, I think, will be on Kansas City's defense. Josh Allen took off and ran that ball quite a bit last night. We know Lamar Jackson is going to take off as much as he can. You shut down Lamar's run, you win the game. That's it. That's the key. I mean, we know Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. You can't never count the man out. Mahomes will find a way to make some shit happen, and it all depends if Kelsey decides to have some hands. He had some hands. He had his hands yesterday. But I like that prediction right there, at 28-35. You know what? I'm going to lock that in. 28-35 KC. It's going to be a close game. KC's going to have the last possession and go down there and score to win it.
And I'm gonna say this: I don't think they're gonna get them many points because KC.
Hell no, neither one of them.
KC ain't put up 35 points all year. I can't. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Baltimore defense ain't gonna let that happen.
No.
No. No. And to go back to what you say, Kenya, this might be I think Lamar is going to run like a fool when he get in trouble. And to be honest, and this is another one, barring turnovers. Depending on what Todd Monken is calling on the offense, it's going to be a very, very physical game. Because Roquan and Queen, arguably 1-2 combination, besides them two jokers, Greenlaw and that other joker out there in San Francisco, the best two combination. And we got Tampa Bay two boys. Them two boys good too together. I can't take that away from them neither. But Queen and that boy Roquan and linebacker, if you don't know who he is, number 0 will flash and number 6 will flash on your screen. Pacheco is not going to be running all like that. And quiet as he kept, Clowney is having a quiet season over there for Baltimore. He finally found a team that kind of fits what he does and what they need. I got Baltimore. Let's do at the most 24-21. At the most. We could get us another 21-17 game, but I'm going 24-21. It will come down to my kicker up there in Baltimore, kicking the game winner to take Baltimore on the hunt. I will go back to when Lamar was drafted and he put on his back that Baltimore was going to get a Super Bowl out of him. This will do it. No, sir, that won't happen. I don't think Baltimore done gave up 100-yard rush all year. I really don't.
I'm gonna do some digging.
Well, going on what Skip said, that early lead, sir, will have to be more than 14 points. Because even if they're down 14, Lamar still gonna run the ball. So that point, that early lead will have to be 17-0 or something like that for them to just start totally passing. The run for Baltimore is like their main go-to with Lamar and them running backs. And like I said, Dalvin Cook is definitely gonna make a difference coming into this game because Gus Johnson is a formidable back. He's a good back. However, he doesn't have the game-breaking speed and moves that Dalvin Cook has. If him and Lamar back there, you got to pick your poison. And of course you probably gonna pick Lamar and not let him get loose. But KC defense gonna play good, man, and KC or Baltimore, I don't think is giving up all those points like that. I do think it'll be a good, hard-fought game. I think both defenses gonna play good, and as B said, it's gonna come down to turnovers and who can protect the ball. I don't know what the weather gonna be like out there, but I'm sure it's gonna be cold. But neither of these teams are hindered by weather. Neither of these teams can both of these teams can play in the cold regardless because they cold weather teams. So I do feel like I picked the Ravens for my Super Bowl pick in the AFC. So I'm gonna go Ravens 21-17.
Kev, is that to one player? We talking about Pachenko, where Ant put up Pachenko getting 130. That's a team getting 100 yards?
No, that was one player. One player from those teams.
One player on team.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll pull it back up. So the Colts, Moss had 122. Their first game against the Steelers, Najee Harris had 112. And what was that last one? The Browns. Ford had 107.
Okay.
The only one that they didn't was their last that game against the Colts. That loss against the Colts.
I'm gonna say this too.
No, I was wrong. The last loss to the Steelers. My bad.
If Kansas City let Pachenko run the ball a little bit more, they probably win a couple of more. Just saying.
Keep in mind too, none of Baltimore's starters played that last game, so we still
be mindful.
I mean, but Baltimore also has a bad rep of losing to these Steelers.
You agree?
The Steelers are doing. Rivalry. That's a rivalry.
Yeah.
But be mindful. Baltimore has people to run with Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Them other folks on the outside, Rice and some of them other guys, want you show up? That's a big question. I just believe it's going to be closer than what we might think because Kansas City has a better defense in the past years of their Super Bowl runs. They really do. So, I mean, this will cement Lamar's legacy if he can knock off the champ.
I agree. And I picked at the beginning of the year.
Wait a minute now. I agree with you on that now. But they don't give him the ball enough.
Yeah. Marlon Humphrey will be back for this game too. And they probably gonna try to match Kyle Hamilton up with Kelsey, which is a good matchup. Kyle Hamilton like 6'3", 6'4", defensive back. So it's gonna be interesting just to see the in-game matchups that they have. But I'm be watching for Dalvin Cook, bro. I feel like just they brought him on just the right time, so I want to see how it work out.
Mark Andrews, they didn't play him this week.
They might have just been trying to rest him, make sure he was ready. Yeah. I'll say it again: you shut down Lamar Jackson's run opportunities. I don't believe the man has an arm, so it's anything over 20 yards is a shaky pass.
Sir, he got an arm.
No.
You can't say that. If you want to say accuracy, that's different. He can throw the football.
Okay. He can't throw it accurately. Anything over 20 yards is inaccurate. So you take away his run. I mean, this last game, he had 152 passing yards and 100 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it called for. What you want?
Hey, look, I'm just saying. He doesn't need anything except for quarterback rushes when it comes to stats.
You taking him over that?
Good question.
Take him over that.
Good question.
Oh, you said quick question. You said good question.
I said good question.
Good question. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because we needed because when Dak was
Wait a minute. Wait
running,
just a minute.
what when Dak was running the football, I mean, you saw it this year when he started taking when he started taking off with the football again, it added another threat. But here's the difference: Dak can throw the ball.
Can he?
Accurately.
I mean, he had accurately, yes.
Because from what CD mom said, he can't do shit.
CD's mom don't play football. Just like Parsons' brother came out and said something, and Michael Parsons came back and said, "Don't listen to him. He don't play football."
Yeah, there you go. I agree with you. I agree with you. This is our argument that we had at our chat behind closed doors, ladies and gentlemen. You know, if you take some of these quarterbacks and, we shuffle them around and do what they do, that these teams are still successful, or what will happen? You take Lamar off Baltimore team, as we seen last year and previous season, when he gets hurt, they do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, I do want to see how Clowney them do up front, with the pass rush. Because we do know that, KC will try to run the ball, but when it's all said and done,
Wait,
they're
hey,
going to throw it. They're going
who'd
to
you
throw
say?
it.
Who'd you say?
Don't do
You
it.
see?
Hey, don't do it. Hey, don't do it. Don't. You talking about clowning, man. The only damn draft kick they didn't have inside Debo played.
You're ridiculous. Yo, you are off. Yeah. Come on. You are off your rocker right now, D.
I said clowning Debo.
You are off your rocker.
Clowning Debo. I mean, that's all
hard.
I'll say it like this. Dallas has 6 Gamecocks on their team.
Damn.
Green Bay has Gamecocks on their team. Sam Fran, obviously Sam Fran.
So you bringing Gilmore back the way he was burnt toast out there, sir?
That man played with a hurt shoulder. I don't. It's bittersweet because of course we're getting Diggs back. I think Deron Bland stepped up.
You talking about
I think Deron Bland, San Fran. Hey, look, like I said, San Fran got some Gamecocks on their team. Skip. I don't know. I was talking about. You said what?
Kinlaw, right? Kinlaw.
Mm-hmm. Javion Kinlaw. I was talking to my buddy who's a Dallas fan, and his argument was, imagine if we had all 3 of them. All 3 of them ain't gonna be playing at the same damn time. So somebody's on the bench, but how do you decide who's on the bench? So I don't know. I like Stephon Gilmore, but I hate to say it, the boys from Philly might have been right. You're old.
What I had to bring up. Oh, shouts out to Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay. They had 2 players on their team, on both respective teams, that went to my son's high school, North Clayton. There's a lot of local kids that played in these playoffs around the league that are local kids. We got a lot of Georgia players playing, kids on all around, like you said, South Carolina players. There's a lot of kids that grown men that are out there playing football on some of these teams that got their stamp.
And remember, a lot of South Carolina players come from the state of Georgia.
SEC is SEC country. SEC country, and this is why listeners, we go so hard with the SEC, because when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and you see some of these players on some of these teams that's in the final stages, they come from the South. That's what it is.
Because we number 1. I hate when these folks from up north always try to say, "Oh, SEC ain't really that." What are you talking about?
They got a little point this year again by Bino and Nick, but all in all, I do not think a non-SEC team will win the CFB in these next couple of years. I feel like because they're gonna expand it, and I feel like the SEC play the best ball, so they're gonna have about 3, maybe 4 teams in them.
Improv.
Oklahoma coming, Texas coming. Of course, my dog's gonna go, and you might have one little wild card. LSU, Ole Miss. It'll be somebody they throw in there.
I got a question for Mr. the
Damn.
GM or the I got a
Oh,
question for I got a question for the GM of the Atlanta Falcons on our podcast. It's a executive boardroom while Belichick, Harbaugh, some of the coaches ain't been signed. They do not want to deal with Rich McKay. Could you elaborate, sir? I know this. Could you elaborate what you want? Because this is becoming an issue. And it was looking like the Falcons are having a dumpster fire situation going on. And is this the
don't do
issue?
that. Do that. But you got to play it for y'all too. Don't do that, kid.
Hold on. Is this the issue? Is this the issue with the Falcons franchise? Is this the issue?
uh, I mean, what you want to do is get your hire right. That's why they probably interviewing like 13 people. I do feel like that Arthur Blank is more so on the Belichick train versus McKay and Fontenot. I feel like with Belichick and probably Harbaugh, they're gonna want a little more control of personnel decisions and decisions being made. So I don't want to say that Belichick is wrong. I don't want to say Harbaugh is wrong because you never will know until they get in there. You see what I'm saying? Uh, I love Anthony Weaver. Um, I love Brian Callahan, but I think he got hired somewhere else. I like the Wilkes. I like that they keeping their options open. But I do feel like Belichick, if he wants to be the head coach of the Falcons, he's gonna have to surrender some of the personnel decisions. Because bro, you drafted Bailey Zappi, you drafted Matt Jones, and whoever you had as your OC, whoever you had as your quarterback coach, your tight ends coach, your passing game coordinator, whoever, you've been so unable to develop young quarterbacks. And who's to say that Matt Jones won't go nowhere else with a better coordinator, a better QB coach, and be a little better? I ain't saying he's gonna be Josh Allen-esque, but I feel like different situations bring out different results in different people. And I feel like Belichick in New England was stuck in his ways. I feel like he had been winning for so long that he get a pass. But I think you won 4 games this year. So ever since number 12 left and came to Florida, you done did this. You're 3 or 4 years removed from your franchise quarterback, and you still haven't got nobody yet.
Now, credit to the Patriots. They did have a great defense.
Okay.
They did have a good defense. I mean, they had 3 games that they lost 3-0.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think they were in a row,
Right.
But yeah, Belichick couldn't get that offense rolling. And
yeah, I don't really know if.
But if y'all bring in Harbaugh, he's going to want the same thing. Especially
However,
now after winning a championship.
I feel like Harbaugh is a little bit better evaluator of talent than, especially offensively. Especially offensively. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like he's a better evaluator of talent offensively, and he's a better developer of quarterbacks as well. You feel what I'm saying? Who better to develop a quarterback than somebody who played quarterback in college at a high level, in the NFL at a high level? So as far as Bill, I don't really trust that he can do that. Now bringing him into a new situation may change that. It may let him relinquish some of those roles to other people and let him just worry about coaching versus how he did in New England. But I don't want to trash the hire if we hire him, and I don't want to trash the hire if we hire Harbaugh, because you never know how things are going to go until they get in there. You feel what I'm saying? Who will Harbaugh bring in as his coordinators on both sides of the ball? Who will Belichick bring in as his coordinators on both sides of the ball? So it's just a lot that play into it. But I do like that we are interviewing multiple people, keeping our options open, and not just saying Belichick or bust or Harbaugh bust, because it's some other great coordinators out there, i.e. D'Amico Ryans, like that, like he came from San Fran, who can be good head coaches, So I feel like the younger guys will be better because with Belichick, you 71, 72. So how many years you got to coach?
I think the average coaching contract is like 4 or 5 years when they sign.
5.
In 4 years, he's 75.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't know if he's gonna be able to be in it for the long haul. 3-4 years, maybe, but after them 3-4 years, is it somebody in place that he gonna hire that we can promote from within, or are we back to interviewing 13 more people again? See what I'm saying?
But if you go get Harbaugh, I see him doing the same thing. 3-4 years. If he doesn't win anything, he's gonna jump back to college.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you. The issue that I do see is two things I see with the Falcons right now: head coach and player personnel. Those right now are the key things in this regime they need to figure out. Rich McKay need to get his hands off the football personnel and whatever. If you want to do numbers, that's fine. But you're gonna have to relinquish some power to somebody. Because if you look at the history of the Falcon coach, outside of Dan Reeves, Mike Smith, and your boy Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn didn't have no power. Because if he did, he'll still be here. Jim Moore, we know that one nothing, and Dan Reeves was an old school. Dan Reeves was part of the Smith family, and that's when Arthur Blank came in and bought the team. This has been a coaching carousel of a dumpster fire when it comes to submitting a coach and keeping his team. Falcons don't have no identity. If you bring Bill in, it's a respect factor gonna come with that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that go on. You right. One thing we do know he does do, he do go get players out of the SEC. Bill will do that.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Which for some odd reason the Falcons don't tend to want to do that.
I would think Georgia would be y'all's main calling card.
Georgia or Alabama.
The mock drafts now, the early mock drafts now got us getting Dallas Turner.
See?
Yeah, I'm telling if y'all hire Harbaugh, JJ McCarthy will be your quarterback next year.
No, he will not. They're gonna trade that second round pick, and they're gonna go get that ball up there. They're gonna get Justin Field will be the quarterback. JJ McCarthy will not be on no team down here with the Falcons. They have seen enough of mediocre quarterback play getting picked in the 3rd and 4th round. It will not happen, sir. Do not get it twisted.
He gonna follow.
If they do get him, he probably won't be a starter.
No, I can see him being a backup. Harbaugh's gonna keep him close.
If he does, he'll be fun to implement and run and get this man offense down here, the terminology, and be able to talk and whatever he's trying to do. Whatever he's trying to do. But I agree. Now you see that your defensive coordinator is going to get this job down here in Jacksonville.
He said
McCarthy. He's talking about McCarthy. I don't think he'll go he'll be a late pickup for sure.
That's why I said 3rd, 4th round quarterback. That's right, Skip. But yes, this is what I'm looking at. You have a situation again that you in a coach that's coming in. You got the 8th pick, that. Okay, what are we doing at the quarterback position? First and foremost, are we sold on going to make this deal, or are we going to try to move up in the draft and get? Are we going to piggyback that Calvin Ridley 2nd round pick and a 1st round pick to move up to get? Because if you're 2, you can do that now. Because you got an extra 2nd round pick and move up and get what you want. Or you want to go and get you a quarterback in place and go from there. As we've seen, Harbaugh's already got a resume of developing Andrew Luck. Kaepernick was up under his tutelage. He had Alex Smith playing serviceable at one point in time. That's just the truth.
I say it again before we do our last takes here. I've said it all season. There's what the Falcons need to do.
Damn.
And there's what the Falcons are going to do. Two completely different things.
Yes, sir. You're completely right, sir.
Completely different things. Oh, man. All right, Abe, kick us off here before we get out.
Oh, man. Thank you to everybody for tuning in this week, man. Some great football being played. And I'm looking forward to some more great football this weekend, man. I think this matchup with Mahomes and Lamar is what everybody been waiting on this season. And I don't think it will disappoint. It's definitely gonna be a great weekend of football, man. Definitely looking forward to tuning in. Like I said, thank y'all to everybody. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, your comments. It's been great doing this. Even though football season coming to an end, just get ready for some NBA, man. Some it's definitely not the NFL. It's definitely 3 steps down from the NFL, but it's the next best thing going. So let's get ready to tune up for some NBA. It's a long season with that, but with football leaving, NBA is a good follow up to that. So thanks to everybody again, and I'll see y'all next Monday.
Again, man, thank everybody for tuning in. I did forget to tell you, I went and seen SmackDown this past Friday with the kiddos and the lady. That wrestling is just, they are making millions of dollars off of this scripted mess and the things that people don't get to see behind when they go off air. Yeah, just don't see some of the stuff they go on. But yes, man, thank everyone for tuning in. And commenting, interacting, and people, if you want to come on, we do have an open door policy and letting people come on and speak their piece. Sponsorship is available if you want to sponsor on quarter and everything. We will get into some more youth sports because basketball is going on. Trying to get Coach Bars back on because he's coaching basketball down in Carrollton. We also are trying to get something going with the girls softball and baseball behind the scenes, and we can work that out because baseball is a year-round sport, and I just understood they play no matter what the weather is, and they can get it done. And like I said, thank everyone. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Very interactive show tonight. I really appreciate it.
There we go. Well said. Well said. Well, unfortunately, the People's Champ, Sean Strickland, lost his title the other night, which I do not believe he should have. The only thing I saw in that fight that would have stripped his title was the takedowns that he did not defend. Other than that, he was piecing that boy up. But congratulations, Dracus Duplessis. And real quick, man, just a reminder. The Dallas Cowboys have won a Super Bowl more recent than the San Francisco 49ers. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back next Monday night.
Wait a minute.
8 o'clock.
Wait a minute. You're not going to get away with that. And when were you born? When were you born, Mr. King?
Until then, please keep your beard cold and your wings lemon pepper, baby. Yeah.